Sup, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Dugas, coming at y'all with another episode of Dropping Dimes with Mr. Dugas. And today, it look like we're gonna have a little company. I'm gonna talk about Texas and Oklahoma have officially asked the SEC. Basically, look, July 1st, 2025, we want in. Like, we gonna be done with the Big 12. We want in. I'm gonna just talk about what I think that means for LSU and what it means for the conference overall, and just certain nothing has been official yet on how things are gonna be, but just the things that I've seen so far, I'm gonna give my reaction to those things. Before I get into this video, for everyone, if you want to give me a follow on my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, I'm gonna have all that information down in the description box. May not always get a chance to respond to questions and excuse me, and comments on these videos, so feel free to DM me, and whenever I get a chance to, I'll get back at you. Come holler at your boy. Also, if you have a Xbox One and you play Madden, I'm gonna have my Xbox One gamer tag in the description box also. Yeah, Texas, we've been hearing about it for like a week or two that, Texas is thinking about coming into the SEC, leaving the Big 12. Now, then they didn't really deny it, but they just kind of like, whatever. Like, y'all say what y'all want to say, whatever. But now it's official. It's official that they won in the SEC. Thursday, the SEC teams basically are going to get together and I guess decide if they want them in or not. Like, I guess vote them in. We all know it's been reported that Texas A&M is not a fan of Texas joining the SEC, and honestly, you could really understand it. Like, that would take a lot of lore away from A&M if Texas got into the SEC. With all these recruits and all, because A&M has definitely been a better program than Texas, for a while, especially since they joined the SEC. So that would help, from that standpoint. So we're gonna see what happens with these. Me personally, I know people I've talked to is not for it. I'm for it, though I know that there's some things about it that I'm not gonna like. For example, early on we have, there's reports that we may have a pod type of schedule where the SEC West would basically be LSU, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Arkansas, and Missouri will move from the east to the west. Whereas for the east, it would be, Georgia, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina, Vanderbilt, and Alabama and Auburn would move to the SEC East. But the pod scheduling that I seen, now I don't know if this is going to be official. This just been thrown out there by a lot of people close to the situation. One pod would be LSU, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State. Another pod would be Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. Another pod would be Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. And the fourth pod would be Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and Kentucky. What they're thinking about with these pods is that the other three teams in your pod you play yearly. Every year you play those teams. And you also take turns playing other pods. Like, one year you play this pod, another year you play that pod, another year you play that pod. Like, you'll play I think they say two teams out of each pod, not the whole pod, but I think two teams out of each pod. That way, you have more of a flexible schedule and you play each other every year or whatnot, every 4 years or however that would go. The issue that I have, the thing that I like about it is that Texas and Oklahoma brings more competition to the conference. LSU versus Texas, we seen that a couple of years ago. That would be an exciting game. We still are actually waiting to read. COVID cost us our home game with Texas last season. So LSU and Texas, I think, will become a pretty solid rivalry, not yearly, but rivalry. As well as LSU, Oklahoma, go and play them over there, and having the Sooners come to Death Valley would be a whole lot of fun. Now, so I think as far as overall from the conference on a a competition standpoint, it would be a lot of fun. The negative with this though is we would lose yearly rivalries. That's been very important to our fan base for years. For one, obviously the biggest one is we wouldn't play Alabama every year. Now I know some people gonna be like, phew, like, with Nick Saban being there, decide to sign a 50-year extension over there or whatever it was at Alabama. But honestly, whether they win or not, man, look, that's a fun rivalry. Like I look forward to that LSU Alabama game every year. So you wouldn't have LSU Alabama every year. You wouldn't have LSU Auburn every year. And that's if they don't even go by the pods. Like, and if they do go by the pods, obviously, you lose the matchup with Arkansas for the Golden Boot every year. You and that you lose the matchup with Florida every year. So some really fun games that we look forward to on a yearly basis, would be lost. And that to me, that's the biggest problem with this whole thing. Obviously, I don't know how the money and all that fluctuates. Obviously, it's going to be enough money and it's going to be more money, really. I don't know what's going to happen to the Big 12. I don't know if they're going to turn it to the Sun Belt or if, hey, they may try to get a couple of teams out the Sun Belt to go to the Big 12. I don't know what's going to happen with that. But from a competition standpoint, I think it would be fun. It would be awesome. And let's remember, it's not just for football. This is going to be for all sports. You would have Oklahoma and Texas in basketball also. Look how more dominant this conference would be in not only baseball but also in softball. Texas and Oklahoma just won the national championship in softball. Texas was really good in softball and was the number 2 ranked team in baseball. So you have all those things you got to factor in also. So it'll be a lot of fun to me if these two teams get added. But I hate that we'll lose a lot of these yearly rivalries that we look forward to every year. But we'll see what happens Thursday when these all these SEC teams meet and discuss. Like, hey, do we want them here or not? So looking forward to seeing what happens with that. But with that being said, y'all, that's all I got for y'all today. Appreciate y'all checking out the video. Hit the like button for your boy. Give me a subscribe. I'm going to have LSU and NCAA content throughout the year. Also, this coming Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central, 5 Pacific, I'm going to do a live Q&A. Y'all come on there for an hour. Ask me anything. Tell me anything. I answer your questions, respond to your comments, and give you a shout out on the live. Also on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern, I co-host Big Time Sports Talk. Download the ESPN 1420 AM app and come listen to us on the radio. Me and Mike the Bandit. Should be a lot of fun. Until then, y'all have a blessed one. Go Tigers.